Hello, everybody. It is currently Friday, but we are going to be planning for November 7th through November 13th. I love it when I can see the number so I can say it very clearly. Yes, welcome, everyone. My internet friends, you are all welcome here. I'm going to light this candle. I've mentioned it before. I'll have it linked down below. It is an anthropology with some stuff on there. Pink pomelo and bergamot are the scent notes. It's a very interesting scent. I would highly recommend if you are just browsing and smelling scents. I had a whole day of smelling scents while I was roaming around Anthropology and some other stores on Labor Day, and it was a whole lot of fun. And also went with a friend and smelled a whole bunch of stuff in Leavenworth. That's near Seattle, so somewhat near. Smelling candles is so much fun. I tend to kind of stay away from the super sweet ones, but I don't know. There's something about those craft store vanilla candles, though. My sister and I talk about that, where it's like there's a certain vanilla scent that we remember growing up with just around the holidays, and it was the cheap vanilla candles from like craft stores or little drugstores or something. So sometimes I still have a little stash of those. So anyway, moving on. This week has quite a few things. This time, like Monday, Tuesday, I'm just not going to have any time for anything. I finally was able to post like a community notice on this channel. I saw a lot of other people who are kind of like me, who have but I mean, I don't have over 1,000. I'm not expecting over 1,000 people to be in this community for a while. And it was nice to see that some of those features were coming out for us who are smaller channels. So, as I said in that quick note, was that I'm probably not going to be able to participate in some of the collabs in the next few weeks just because a lot's going on. Health-wise, there's just a lot. And although my first iron infusion went really well, it was super stressful. I didn't have quite the emotional support that I had from... Actually, I kind of wrote about this in my notes here, was just like going over my wins for the week and everything. And it was funny, down at the bottom here, it says going through a difficult time, having a hard time processing how you feel about something and not sure what to do about it. Write it out. Sit for a minimum of 15 minutes with your journal or a blank sheet of paper and write down all of your emotions uncensored. Excuse me. Give yourself space to process all facets of how you are feeling and why. When you feel complete, rip it up, burn it, and throw it away. Or throw it away. I think I need to process a little bit more. I was really used to having this one nurse, my last 3 other infusions I was getting, and she is just so amazing and would check in on me more often. And I straight up have panic attacks during these infusions because it's that feeling inside your body and not being able to understand it or process it very well. I have a very low pain threshold. That's just how my body works, being neurodivergent. My sensory stuff goes through the roof. So, I think I'm going to ask my mom to come with me to the next one. She is a retired nurse, and so she can, not only being my mom, put my mind at ease, but also know kind of what I'm going through because she's kind of administered things on the other side. So, but I also kind of realized during that whole situation was like, I didn't quite explain what really helped with the previous nurse. I think she expected when I said, hey, and I do this to many different providers. I've had many different tests this whole last like 6 months and stuff. many different procedures, and I almost always ask for somebody to hold my hand, and it helps so much. It'll be it's any nurse who is nearby, and most of the time they are happy to do so, especially going through something kind of intense. So when I just kind of casually mentioned to the latest nurse, hey, could you hold my hand a little bit? It helps. I think she was expecting that I was expecting it to be 15 minutes of hand holding. And it's like, no. And I even asked her when she was like, well, we're really busy today. I said, can I have a hand squeeze? Which I understand that's a little bit clearer language of just it's literally 5 seconds. It doesn't hurt to take 5 seconds out of your day to make your patient feel a little better. And so I think that's what she wasn't quite understanding. And I also know that there is a lot of ableism in healthcare. And I also did feel wow, she's kind of overreacting to this. And it's no, this is a need. So that is my rant this week. So I needed to come up with a different plan for next week. And yeah, I'm hoping my mom can come. She's already mentioned that she would be willing to come sometimes. And just being clear when there's definitely a change of a different person that's helping me out, being really clear of what has helped in the past and what are the expectations of it. And that's why a lot of people who are, going through a lot of health things, or who are neurodivergent or highly sensitive or have a lot of anxiety, any of those things, we often feel like we're over-explaining because we feel like we have to explain every single time. So for everyone who's going through that, I get a lot of it. I will never understand your personal experience with it, but I understand that it is hard in different degrees, for some more than others. And it's not about comparing, and it's just, what are your needs right in that moment? Anyway, so this is going back to this last week. It was kind of rough during this time. We had a really good Halloween. My son was handing out candy, which is kind of a big deal. I thought that was really cool. He's really not one to be front-facing. He'll, sit back and listen and watch is his style. And I understand that. That's kind of my style too at times. And yeah, it was just really fun to see him enjoying that time. And then, the infusion went, as I said. And then afterwards, my Starbucks wasn't taking orders. So, and then I'm on the way to my infusion, my gas light came on, and I'm like, oh, poop. I was going to fill up my car over the weekend and totally forgot because we were doing other festivities. And so it was kind of I got back in my car, and this whole time it's more about being rearranged. And that's kind of frustrating, right? When you're oh, wait, I thought it was going to happen this way. And I'm okay, I need to scrap how this day is going and turn it around. There's a account I follow on Instagram, David Quarles, I think, QU. And he also always talks about it's not too late, we can turn this day around. And I love that sentiment. It's, even if it's towards the evening, we can turn this day around even in the evening and try to have a nice evening. We can do our best, right? So I'm okay, well, I found a different place to gas up because I wanted to use gas points at a certain station. Then I found a Starbucks near there, and it just happens in a different order sometimes. So I still see kind of a sprinkling of things through here that I want to get done, and we're hopefully going to have a much quieter weekend. I'm filming this on Friday, and it's just been kind of a big week, and I don't feel like it's done. I feel like there's going to be some more things. So I'm trying to get all my filming done today and recording so that this weekend I have a little time to work on some other things. Yeah, because last weekend was just like a little too much of, let's see, is it even in here? Was it actually this previous week back here? Okay. So there was just a lot going on in here. And I love how that spread turned out. So this was a lot more plain. And I think it was kind of like this kind of mix and match here, kind of matched how I felt throughout the week. It was like, well, there's a nice fun day here, but then it just kind of went blah in the middle. So I do have like a mix of stickers coming up for this next week, and we'll see how this turns out. Another thing is, this morning my son was getting ready and he's like, oh, by the way, okay, I have to just like brag about my kid a little bit. He goes, yeah, I heard that there was this meeting. So during lunch yesterday, the lunch recess, he decided to go to this meeting in the library to become a library helper. And we're like, you did what now? He goes, yeah, this would be a dream to do. And so we're really hoping he gets to do it. This is like the first time he's like taking initiative to try something and go all out, all on his own. So we're like, wow, where did this come from? So we're kind of celebrating and also kind of preparing if he doesn't get to do it. I don't know if it's like how many kids were there or like, I don't know. I know nothing about it. I had no idea that that was a thing. So we're finding out. And it was almost like he went out and said, I found a job. Like that's what we're kind of feeling about it. So yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. We're kind of still in shock about it, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I feel like I want to feel more grounded. This was kind of a light green down here, and I just feel I want to feel more grounded. So I'm going to use a darker color here. Let's see if I line this up okay. Oh, I'm way over. Yeah, like, I don't know. We'll see how everything goes. But he loves to read books, and so we'll see how it all ends up. So that's my sum up of the last week. And our leaves are swiftly falling off the trees, as does this time of year. But we're here in the Pacific Northwest. We're a little behind because we had a drought for several weeks and it kind of just slowed fall down. And so we're just hoping to possibly take some school. Well, so my son doesn't get school pictures done. It's not a thing that we need to have happen. So we take our own pictures, and we're hoping that we can do that this weekend, although it's just very rainy. So again, we'll see. We'll see how things go. I am looking forward to, let's see, I think I want to do, I know for this Laurel Denise washi here, I think it's more used for time blocking. So that's why there's little lines on here. And it's not going to match up to this planner. So it's just kind of more of a little accent. Anyway, November 10th, Makselife is going to start shipping out their planners. I ordered mine, was it last week? Week before. 25th? 20, yeah. It's back here a ways, right here. I can't see the dates, so I'm not sure exactly. But it'll be like 2 weeks and they're finally shipping them. So that's kind of exciting. And then I have these random, I feel like we're in the in-between times. So I think I'll put these first, and then it's not quite Christmas time, although for Canadians, they're way past their Thanksgiving and moving on to other things. So last week, it kind of helped to have these little dots. And they are little. Let's see. I'm kind of liking that though, just the green, and it's almost this off-white right here. And I can feel, oh, this is, it's the bookmark, but like right here, there's definitely this lump from this time strip, and funnily right here, funnily is that a word? At the 5 o'clock there's this other lump for when I would stick the stickers on for meals. And I feel like I am kind of using up a lot of the icons that I have, and I don't think I'm gonna buy them up. That's what I'm thinking of right now, is like, what stickers do I need going into the next part of the year here? And yeah, I'm just kind of looking at some of mine going, I don't think I'll use that next year. And that's okay. I think I want a little less, and that's okay. So quickly, cards. I pulled many cards that were the same as the last couple weeks. So I pulled Friction again, which was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the week before last, I got this again, and I'm kind of thinking it definitely feels like, it says, counter an abrasive personality by elevating knowledge and experience. Now, I don't believe the nurse was being abrasive, but I do feel like there was some judgment going on, and I'm going to have to face that again. So, thinking about that. 9 of Earth, I haven't picked for a while. Discipline, self-reliance, reliable resources, restraint of self-control. The final stone is placed in the foundation. Now, I kind of know what that means for me, and I do pull these cards for me. If you also, gain some knowledge around that, that's great. Sorry, I'm just repositioning my light there real quick because I see my shadow. I'm seeing my shadow like the Puxatawny Phil. So I think I pulled that one. When was that? A few weeks back. Oh, maybe. Excuse me. Oh, it was a good few weeks ago. Well, that's interesting. It felt like a lot sooner, so it wasn't quite too recently. But yeah, here's the detail on that card. I kind of have a opinion about self-control. It can be really hard to have self-control, and I don't blame people when they don't have self-control. It's not something we can always control. So anyway, the wheel, which is the octopus, which events can be seen as random, but the wheel of life holds an intelligent structure, adapting fluidly to change. So yeah, I have some feelings about there's always a reason, because I actually don't believe that either. I do believe that sometimes we just have to follow what life is giving us, because it can lead us into unexpected things that are for the good. But I don't also believe, let's see, that's a double negative. But I also believe that there can be no reason for bad things to happen, and that we still have to deal with them. So, yep, I love this picture, but what I really picture here is how fluidly an octopus moves in water, and I think that's just kind of really beautiful to kind of think of. Temperance, I know I picked this, was it last week? Yes. So there's like a lot of repeats here. Seek moderation. Extremes lead to imbalance and exhaustion. So, yeah, I think that's a really good thing to kind of think about. And then we have the full moon in Taurus here, the morning of Tuesday. And please vote. Please vote, everyone. I think it's so important to vote. Oh, just in case. And if you weren't here a week or two ago, here is the friction one again. So, yeah, this, I think Monday night, I have some things to burn for my intentions and stuff. And for a full moon, it's good to release them. So any kind of thing that you want to jot down and just release, just like what this was talking about here. It's exactly actually what this is talking about, is like releasing your feelings, getting them all out and burning them, whatever works for you. So I'm going to quickly write these down. 9 of Earth. And the Wheel. And full moon and Taurus. Okay, so then I know what else I can put on the side here. So I wanted to share, my husband and I have been watching, well, I watched all last year the show Abbott Elementary. And if you haven't caught it, please go see it. The first season is on HBO and the second season is on Hulu. So they are split right now. Hopefully they'll all be on maybe HBO in the future. It won awards for a reason. It's very kind of reminiscent of The Office in certain ways, of how it's filmed and who you're kind of rooting for, and just silly personalities, but there's a whole lot more. There's a lot of heart in that show. So highly recommend. I don't think I'm going to do this. I kind of want to save this for Thanksgiving, I think. I'll use up the rest of these, although, let's see. I won't use these all. So there's still a few, like I definitely want to use like this maple leaf here because we take pictures. Oh, we take pictures that week, I guess, but there's still some falling leaves into this week. I'm getting my weeks mixed up a little bit. And just a little acorn here. It kind of makes the weekend feel a little special. And let's see. Yeah, kind of that green and orange. The last little bits of fall here. And one little thing up here, I think. Yeah, there's a couple birds, so I'm not going to use like 3 birds next week in a couple weeks. So just having one little bird there. And I think that'll be set. It'll be still quite a lot for Thanksgiving. Trying to think, maybe one more? There's 2 apples, so let's pick one apple here. And where to put it? That's the question. Just right down there. Okay, that's it. I got a whole bunch of different stickers out just to kind of see what to do, and I kind of like this. I think that's working. So in terms of goals, let's go back to what I wrote. Like, I skipped this because it just wasn't working. So I definitely got my iron, and I talked with my doctor yesterday about everything, and we're proceeding forward. Everything's moving forward. So I was drinking a lot of water during that time, Still focusing on that. I have not done that. There was a question mark whether or not we could get to the Japanese garden in our city. I'm still working on this. And I had to wait on this. There's an insurance thing that I'm trying to kind of set up new therapy, a new therapist. And we need our insurance cards because my husband just switched jobs. So I'm just going to move a lot of these things. And we did do this. And again, this is an insurance thing. And here, new insurance. So it's like all these insurance things I didn't quite. And then this is what I want to work on this weekend. Yeah, and I kind of feel like I'm introducing more real life here. Now I'm still figuring out for next time. So let's write. I also want to go back to the monthly goals because there's a lot of times when I forget to put these forward. So I'm starting here. This is correct. This is all good. These are in the works. This is kind of what I'm mulling over. This is the real life stuff, is like, how does that show up in photos and videos? Atmosphere of autumn. Yes, those are all happening. Yeah, so this and this is kind of what I'm working on this weekend. Being intentional with things. Yes, this is all, like everything else is moving forward. Okay, so let's make this more specific. So photos of real life in IG stories. Because that really kind of came to me as like, okay, I've been mulling this over, but how does it look in practicing it? And let's try something. And then here is my daily gaming, which settles me down after getting my son out the door. Candles, literally doing that right now. And playing some more music. I haven't been doing it as much. I want to increase that just a little bit. We're putting web work here as I'm taking a break from some other things and letting my body kind of go through these stressful times. It would be too much. It would be too much. I thought, yeah, these iron infusions would be like energetic, giving me more energy, but not yet. I need to kind of, I found myself pretty emotional today, so I think it's PMS stuff, and this next week will be my cycle, so it's going to be a time where I'm kind of low on iron again anyway. So I'm just kind of letting that flow through my body, right? It's like I'm receiving iron and letting it go, What else? So I think here is, I'll put the new, I have a feeling I won't be able to see the therapist I'm set up to see later this month because I don't think she's on the insurance. Like, our new insurance is covering all of our other people, but this particular new one, and I haven't even met her. So I don't think that one's going to work out. And that's okay. I'm having the pause in between is working out just fine. I like to give this a little space. So I have another infusion here. I'm going to say right now with mom, because I think that's just going to be a thing. I can't do it the last week. I've got one done. I need 2 more. This one she can come to. The next one, I literally had my mammogram right after. And I guess she could come, but she would have to wait a little longer in the lobby, which is fine. She would be like, I'm fine with that. I'm still using cards and things here, so just inviting flow into here and into here. I want to invite some flow into those areas. And then There was a mix-up on the med bills, and I think that's why I was expecting some of them and they hadn't been going through. I think they corrected something on their end, so those should be coming through. And then we have some other bills to just follow up on. Would love to go back to the garage to pull in the car, because there's going to be some cold mornings. And then we are getting our HVAC, our furnace, done on this Monday here. So that's done. I think there's just a few more little details. I have a phone call. Whoa, that's a sticker that just came off. Stick that there. I have a phone call here. And let's see. Yeah, I wish I had this little gas sticker. There's this little one right there. If I had put that on the weekend, I think I would have remembered it. Shopping this next week. Now do we have meals through the next week? I think so. Let me take a really quick look. I'm trying to go as far as I can. So yeah, the 10th would be where we shop. So getting the orders ready there. Okay, glad I checked that. Infusion. Let's put this nice darker green here. I like how the greens are lining up. And then we just have our one. This is my last little green truck. Here, I did like these little trucks because we do have little trucks stopping by. I don't have a green much on here. And again, I don't know if I'll reorder these. There's a lighter green. Hey, it works. Ooh, do I have a dark green coffee cup? I do. That's the one thing I'm trying to focus on, is having my latte afterwards. Oh, I do want to see about spraying my plants here and tending to them. Ooh, maybe Monday's not the best day for that. That may be something I do. I was gonna say, the timing of things is a little wonky, so I might do that. Let's see. Recording is the most important thing there. Recording here. And I think that's about it. And then, like, just trying to see what color would go best. Let's just do gray down here because this is just what's being posted. Okay. What else can I write in? Do I have meals set? The meals vary. So I think we're going to have leftovers here. And I'll pencil these in. So like fish tacos. Spaghetti here. Okay. That's about like what's going on. Okay. Yeah, and then shop. I think that's going to be at Target, and then spray, and then I want to repot here. That's my goal. And then record and film. So in terms of these, and then I think we're about done. turn this way again. So sleep. It really does help not having things on here. As I say this, I think I'm going to take this one off too. I really need some low pressure the next week or two. And I feel like these are things that I can come back to. I do want to kind of still monitor some posts that I'm doing. But right now, I just want to slow down, tend to the things that are the most important, and it's working. Oh, the referrals, yeah, it might. Can I spell referrals? I did look it up last week, so I know. Oh, that's what it's the F's and E's that are confusing my brain right now. Dyslexia. And then the insurance should be ironed out mostly next week because we'll have that info. Hopefully. So, yeah, did I need to repeat those? Yes, but those are very important. And then a little bit of color here. Do I have a darker green? Oh, that's a good question. Do I have a darker green? Not there. I'm looking in my zebras here. Wow, I am not seeing a darker green. I don't think there really is. At least the ones I have. I do not. Oop. And then I can't close my drawer. Let's see. I have like that is an olive green. I wonder if I could use this. Let's just do it. Just doing that. Yeah, I don't like that as much, but that's what's just going to happen this week. There. I didn't want an olive green, but that does help. It does kind of match that. So, yeah, not the like most beautiful and like, but that's the thing. This is real life. This is what's working for me right now. I am needing a lot of emotional support for myself. I am emotionally supporting myself this last week or two, and there's shifts going on. There are changes in how I'm doing things and a lot of thinking, and I'm just leaving space for that. It doesn't feel bad. And then a couple years ago, I would have found fault with myself of saying, get it together, right? Like, but you can't. You can't. You have to allow shifts to kind of come and go and morph and kind of be what they're going to be. So, okay, I think that's it. Remember to change your clocks, although you will probably watch this after it happens. Actually, yeah, you will. So hopefully you've changed your clocks. And I hope that this coming week for you goes really well. I'm looking at the camera and I see how like these feel off. That's just the nature of these bindings. That's my one thing I don't like is like how loose this is, because then it looks kind of wonky. Like, to me it ends up looking like that. But it's okay. It's okay, because this is just like how you process things. This is not a work of art. This is where you're processing and organizing and trying to understand how your life is going to be for the next week. And that's all it is. And if you don't use planners, thumbs up too. Like, you don't have to. You don't have to. You can just find what works for you. Yeah. And so thankful you guys are all here. If you haven't checked out my podcast, it's linked down below. I just released episode 83 this morning. I do 3 a week and they're short. And I talked about morning routines. And part of that is like this, is just kind of figuring out what works for you. So If not having a weekly, having a daily works better. Having just a blank piece of paper to write out the list on the back of an energy bill envelope, like utility bill envelope, like that's all it needs to be. So thank you, my friends. And yeah, expect just plan with me's for a little while here as I kind of readjust, and then I'll come back and do other things in a while. Hopefully, maybe after Thanksgiving. I think that's kind of where I feel like I can come back. So until then, enjoy your week. Bye.